Welcome back to Sunrise Daily. Well, remember yesterday we did talk about the cache of arms that was seized in or by the customs, and then some of the killings going on as well across the country brings us to question the matter of small and light weapons in the country. Well, joined this morning by ASP Arowolo Moses, who is the OC Central Information Systems in the Force Headquarters. He joins us from Abuja as well. Morning, and thank you for joining us today. Well, there are many who are concerned about what is going on in the country. This arms seized here today, who knows from where tomorrow. What is the police doing about these kind of cases to ensure they mop up any such arms that may be in possession of people illegally?
Okay. Hello. Good morning.
Morning. Go ahead.
The Nigerian police recently launched the Nigerian Police Central Information System, which is an initiative of the Inspector General of Police, Solomon Arase, FDC, NPM. One of the objectives of this initiative is to control the issuance of motor vehicle tinted permit, firearms license, and police clearance certificate. So as part of the process, members of the public that are issued or own a firearm are expected to bring their firearms to the police headquarters or police commands nationwide for revalidation and reprofiling. And this is also expected, is also expected that owners of motor vehicle tinted permit and those applying for new tinted permit will revalidate their tinted permit and apply also through this new process.
We'll come back to the tinted permit. Let's talk more about the firearms a moment here. What if I had a license before and I refused to come before the Nigeria police for what, in your words, revalidation? Do you have any clue that I had a firearm that hasn't been brought to you for revalidation?
Okay, it is expected that members of the public that own firearms are supposed to go through a process of licensing their firearms, which is done by the officer in charge of firearm in all police command nationwide.
Which comes first before now?
So,
just a minute here. Which comes first before now? Do I need to own a firearm before I come for the license or revalidation, or I get the license before I go for the firearm? Tell us.
okay, before you can even own a firearm, you are supposed to start the process of consulting the officer in charge of firearms in state commands nationwide. So they will advise you on the kind of firearms that can be licensed and the requirements for you to get that firearms. So, for instance, now if you are importing the firearms, you are expected to inform them about the kind of firearms they are importing, so that they will tell you, okay, this is the kind of firearm you're supposed to import or not. Then they are registered dealers that have contacts with the OC firearms that normally brief them on those who are applying for firearms. So normally there is an accredited dealer that they are supposed to even go through.
If I own a firearm, or if I have a permit for a firearm and or tinted permit, means you already have my data. Why do I need to revalidate?
Okay, initially, as I said, the Inspector General of Police has introduced an initiative that requires the revalidation of your firearms and the validation of your old tinted permit. So if you own if you own a tinted permit before, or you own a firearms license before, you're expected to go through this new process.
I get that point, but the question is, why?
Hello?
Okay, let me say it again. I get the point.
Hello?
I get the point where you say we're expected to go through the process. But I'm asking, why should we go through the process again?
Okay, you have to go through the process again because the Nigerian police force is creating a new platform that is different from, or rather, we've created a new platform that is different from the traditional process of obtaining this document. So yeah, in this new platform, you are supposed to go through a biometric capturing process, and we'll get your bio data and store it in the FORS database.
From your estimation currently, how many people would you say own firearms? How many Nigerians, roughly?
Okay, for firearms, I don't think I'll be able to give you a good statistics. Because the records are actually with our intelligence, in the intelligence section of the force. Mm-hmm. So ours is just to get a new, database. Those who own the firearms, if are supposed to revalidate it and register in our new database.
I want to come back to Chimele's question because you are the techie man in the police force headquarters now. You are in charge of the data being collected. What is it? Is there any kind of foolproof that this new platform has that the old one doesn't?
Sorry, please come again. I can't hear you.
I go back to Chimele's question. There must be something, there must be a catch that is making the police ask us to embrace this new platform that it has come up with. Tell us, take us through, is this a better platform and why is this better than the older one?
Okay, yeah, it's a very good and a better platform because the Nigerian police is trying to make sure those who are obtaining these firearms are qualified and are people of good characters. So that the IGP observed that the process of issuing initially is filled with corruption and some unorganized manner. So this new process, the applicant is required to bring an attestation of good character from a level 14 officer, either public or civil servant, and a medical fitness report that clears the person of any kind of mental problem or sight issues.
That's for those who
eyesight issues, yeah.
For those who have got firearms, who have the license for firearms. Is that for those
Hello?
who have the license?
Please come again.
Is that for those who have the license for firearms?
Those who have the license for firearms, as in those who already have the old license, and those applying for new one.
Yeah, but I don't understand. I mean, if we already have the license, one thought that, you know, the authorities, police, before granting that license, have done all of those details. Then this process you're requesting for should be for those who are applying for a fresh one.
That's why I said we've changed the process. It's now automated. It's an automated process. It's no longer an analog process. The previous one was analog. So this new one is an automated process. And both those those who have firearms before and those applying for new ones are required to go through this new process.
Okay. Now, in order to make it a little easy for the police, because I don't know how many people are on the database for having firearms, what if, with respect to getting the biometrics, because if they've got a national ID card and then they have a phone number attached to those documents, telecoms have got biometrics of those of them who have telephone numbers. national ID card also to biometrics. What if the police checked with those and then they just submit their biometrics? Wouldn't it make it a little easier?
Okay, the way the system is designed, if you have a national identity card before,